In today's episode, in addition to my normal fast build formula of assembling this entry grade RX-78 American Custom, I will also be briefly telling anyone interested in the hobby some basics that will make jumping in a lot easier. To start off, you'll need to procure a kit, so knowing the different grades or levels of Gundam models is an ideal start. Like I said earlier, this is an entry grade, or an EG for short, which is a great place to start out to have a nice quick build and get a taste before you invest larger amounts of time and or money. With EG, you can get by with no tools or anything not included in the box, but it will look a lot better if you apply some basic skills to the kit, even if it's long after finishing the build. We will go over those skills in just a bit. There are some smaller and typically easier kits than EG, usually called non-scale, but most of the grades are more complex, first starting off with the HG, or high grade. These tend to be 1 in 144th scale in range and difficulty, but are always manageable. The next step up is RG, or real grade, which is the same scale as HG, but with a good bit more details, which usually equates to more work, but a higher grade model. With these two grades, you can usually tell if it is more of a basic looking mobile suit, then it will be an easier build than the more extreme looking ones. After this, we get bigger in scale with the 1/100th master grades and the 1/60th perfect grades, which are bigger and more complex than we'll get into the starter video. After you have your kit, you are technically ready to get started, but I would suggest at the very least a cheap pair of clippers to remove the nubs properly from your kit. This is when in the video you see me separate the individual pieces from the bigger sheet that they are made on, called runners. This will result in a cleaner looking Gunpla, which is what Gundam models are referred to. Once you can remove your parts from the runners, you are ready to build. The included instructions rarely have much English on them, but none is really needed as the manual is really well detailed with just images alone. It shows you step by step what parts are needed and how they assemble. All parts have a part number consisting of typically a letter indicating which runner the part is on and a number so you know exactly which one to cut out. That is the bare basics and all that is needed. But one last thing I would like to cover that looks intimidating but actually is very easy and makes a big difference, which is panel lining. This is when you see me take a pin to the Gunpla, and what I'm doing is lining various edges in the kit's design to make it pop more or look more like the show. All you need for this is a panel pin, typically black or gray, and an eraser, or even just your finger if you don't mind getting ink on your hands. You fill in the lines and erase what is not needed. The eraser will get the lines off even after they've dried. Basic panel lining has you typically doing indented surfaces, so it's easy to erase what is not desired to be there. I would like to say that I am no expert. There are people out there with insane skill levels that I will never reach, but just like any good hobby, you can move at your own pace and have an enjoyable time without being the best. With that said, I'm happy to give what advice I can and tell you where to look for things I don't know, so feel free to hit me up down in the comments. Also, a good non-toxic community to join online is very helpful, as they typically are very welcoming to newcomers and giving great advice. That concludes this video. Let me know what you would like to see me build in the comments below. My fast build videos do not typically have this much talking in them, they won't going forward either. I also have other series and live streams, so go check those out, and until next time, have a good one.